probably heard about the severed human head found out in Hollywood a couple of weeks ago. The shadow of the iconic Hollywood sign.
Los Angeles police today wrapped up one of their biggest searches in recent history. They spent a third day combing an area of the Hollywood Hills for body parts.
I can't even imagine I'm walking with my mother with some dogs and all of a sudden, when you realized it was a human head severed, what did you and your mom say to each other?
Not since Max Headroom has a head debuted to more publicity.
Great. If you see me, give me a wave. I love to see style.
What originally caught my attention about this story is being just 100 or so miles north of a country that's the world capital of severed heads, had people thinking of names like Los Zetos or the Sinaloa cartel that Americans have so far only read about in newspapers. It was the moment many have dreaded, when the vicious drug war raging in Mexico finally spilled over to Anytown, USA. But authorities said it wasn't a Mexican drug cartel seeking to make a statement here in the U.S. The head, said the LAPD, wasn't meant to be found.
Commander Smith would not reveal if the remains were buried, but did say
they may have been disturbed by animals at some point, but we believe that everything was hidden off the trail where whoever put it there did not want it to be found.
If true, detectives are looking for the most inept head-severing gang in recorded human history. They apparently didn't take into consideration the ramifications of leaving their head just around the corner from the home of two of Hollywood's biggest stars.
A real-life Hollywood murder mystery drawing comparisons to Brad Pitt's movie Seven.
Search is on for a killer who left his horrifying mark below the famous Hollywood sign.
The gruesome discovery, a severed head found in a plastic bag. The location, this park in the Hollywood Hills, where Brad and Angelina often take their kids to play.
Caucasian male, older, it was pretty cleanly severed.
This scene is reminiscent of Pitt's 1995 film Seven on DVD now.
Show you the box. Who's in the box? Oh, God! Oh, God!
And as if that weren't bad enough, the dog that found the head, Ollie, a golden retriever, belonged to a top Hollywood publicist, a good friend of Saturday Night Live and Bridesmaids star Maya Rudolph.
Near the Hollywood sign,
yeah, and it was discovered by a dog. It was my friend's dog. I got into work, and Will Arnett said, you know that head? Like, just like I'm telling you, he's like, you know that head they found? Instead he goes, it was Aaron's dog. I'm like, what?
All in all, it's safe to say that this was one of the more conspicuous head disposals in recent memory. Hell, even Nancy Grace could see that.
It appears, according to many crime scene analysts, including myself, it's as if the perpetrator wanted the severed human head to be found. It was not in a dumpster set to be crushed, set to be put in a landfill. It was not in some remote area. It was there on a hiking trail.
You're right. Right in broad daylight. Nothing to fear. Plenty of people. Nancy, this is the iconic tourist area. There are people around here all the time, hiking, walking, sightseeing. Every day someone says to me, how do I get to the Hollywood sign? So you're right. It seems this person had nothing to fear. And
if you're trying to keep your head disposals on the hush-hush, none of this can be good news. If the severed head wasn't a case of, gee, I sure wish I'd buried that head someplace else, what was it? The answer is obvious, a drug cartel hit. Why didn't the LAPD want us to know the truth? You'd have to ask them, but they were selling the story pretty hard.
Initially, police indicated the victim appeared to be of Armenian heritage, but have backed off from that and basically have ruled out only one thing.
There's no indication that this was a serial case. There's no indication that there's more than one victim here. What we have, by all appearances here, is a single victim. Without identifying the victim and without identifying why this person was killed and the people that he's associated with, it could be anything.
Oh, it could be anything. But remember what he'd said earlier? The police were sure whoever left it didn't want it to be found?
It's hidden off the trail where whoever put it there did not want it to be found.
Well, it turns out that's not strictly true. And it was the LAPD's own crime scene investigators who contradicted him.
The head appears to be rather new. There's not a lot of signs of decomposition yet. The coroner will be removing the head tonight. It's a very extensive process. There's a number of ways they can reference it, including dental records, Hopefully somebody will be able to ID it. Hopefully they'll be able to come up with a sketch of the victim. It was not far off the trail. You know, they were able to see it without walking off the trail.
So, was it a senseless murder incompetently buried? Or a drug cartel hit, with the severed head left in the open to send someone a message? You can draw your own conclusions.